In 1900, Mr. and Mrs. Balfour married and soon moved to Ceylon, where Mr. Balfour worked as a civil engineer. They began their new life abroad, committed to each other and this new chapter.
Ceylon is so different, but it feels like home.
Together, we'll make it our own.
In 1915, Mr. Balfour took leave and the couple went to England for a vacation.
My dear, we need to get you back to England. Also, the doctor there will know how to help you.
Maybe sometime in England, and they just not admit.
The couple prepares to return to England, unaware that this journey will lead to a conflict that brings them to court. Throughout the end of the trip, Mrs. Balfour's health worsened, and this makes her want to seek for medical advice.
Tell me, doctor, how's my connection now? Can I travel back to Ceylon with my husband as a new temperate forward?
Mrs. Balfour, with your rheumatoid arthritis, it is best for you to remain in England for the treatment, because the climate here will help with your recovery.
It's okay, I can go back by myself. Your health is more important.
I understand. I'll stay here.
As Mrs. Balfour stayed in England, Mr. Balfour promised her a £30 monthly allowance while he returned to Ceylon alone.
I will send you £30 every month when I'm away, so you don't need to worry about the finances.
Thank you. I trust we manage the separation this way.
The two agree, though there is no written contract, only a verbal understanding and trust. For 4 years, Mr. Balfour kept his promise of a monthly allowance, but good times don't last long. Financial troubles now prevent him from fulfilling it.
£30? How can I tell her? Business is falling, debt is piling up, and now I can't even give my wife what she needs.
Having no other choice, Mr. Balfour stopped the payment of monthly allowance to his wife. Over time, Mrs. Balfour left without support and was forced to take legal action to enforce the promise.
I don't send anything. I need the money to cover my expenses. I can't wait any longer. Activities to cook and how is horrible.
You may be seated. The court is now in session. This is the case of Balfour versus Balfour. Plaintiff's counsel, please proceed with your opening statement.
Thanks, Your Honor. Today we present Mrs. Balfour claims that Mr. Balfour reached an agreement to pay her £30 per month during their separation.
Much obliged, counsel. Defense, you may now provide your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are here to demonstrate that this was a domestic agreement between a husband and wife. The agreement between Mrs. and Mrs. Balfour was not intended to be legally binding, as the case law does not interfere in personal and marital matters.
Much obliged, counsel.
Your Honor, my husband promised to send me the allowance while I stay in England, but he failed to provide it, leaving me without support. How could this not be a legal agreement when my survival depended on it?
I never considered it as a contract, Your Honor. It was just a promise made out of consideration for my wife's welfare.
I understand.
Your Honor, we are sure that this was more than just a domestic promise. Mr. Balfour, did you clearly state that the agreement was conditioned on your marriage?
No, but I never imagined it would be seen as a contract.
The term was specific. Mrs. Balfour relied on the allowance for support when Mr. Balfour returns to salon.
Objection, Your Honor. This was a domestic arrangement, not a binding contract. Mrs. Balfour, isn't it true that such verbal agreements are typical in marriages and rarely formalized as legal contracts?
But I depended on it. Without the money, I have no means to survive.
Your Honor, the terms was not explicitly stated or agreed upon, and both parties did not intend for this contract to carry the legal consequences. Thus, no breach of contract can arise.
The court deliberates on whether the agreement between Mr. and Mrs. Balfour had the legal intention necessary to form a contract.
Agreements between spouses within marriage generally lacks legal intent. The court finds in favor of the defendant, Mr. Balfour. Court is adjourned.
The judge determined that the agreement was not legally enforceable because the parties did not intend it to have legal consequences. This case demonstrates that social, domestic, or family agreements lack presumed legal intent, whereas a binding contract requires a clear intent to create legal relations.